some of the things that I've done. I wish there was some way I could change your past, but I know it's too late for us now. Changing things wouldn't mean a thing to you, but I did my best to make you smile for me. But I did my best to show you my love. But I guess there's just some things that just don't change. But I guess there's just some things that just don't change.
Yarat arohada kisgi hayda the modo tinjugane hanayil kanto yol kasa hehe nan kedishni horoye the nebenant Buu Nygren hojim asara ol kilhada au kislashi hitli jigo ashla dos ninago ol kilhi hada kisgi hehe hidini to lasi ba hewinzen ishe horo the mobis kanashi da kanni to lehna yesem nike salal so inaba nada di tlado beke the hastin no yeset nilzen no bekha ahigi eshin hoto ba khoda nosindole behez ani yelkashigene Washington kinahal qadam na kedemil yakhahetan khadaliya be wol tkhagelsena adona watch thaga ol kele kharshi ol kele de yesen tahodn nol zeton khisalal so na khandas ba don kha yesem di salal so tsida yego ninnat dist anigi yego ba khoda nosindole no ye hoto behanni to ne de mobis khanego neshim salal so behanni gido aro salal so da Senegi head or lately, Hodo, I say, which Baheta needs in Hot Nickel down or Sonigi do, Behan Nihige, Benyaho, the Mobis Kanigi, the Honda Holonigi, a hot on Hansi case to lech. The Honne Nanigi, the never care about the Hanegi, the Nebeta Ho Yagi, the Hodo I yesem, the Nebeta Ho Yadoj had up with the Tagi, did the Nebber Salat, so Donald sausage Honda income, a Hodon kitchen Honeshi, the she a Hodon Tonanes, Desem, a Adon, a lane, the lower spagay, yeah. Tro LCD il sande no LCD il sande da hohot nilch zoze asago yol kaso digi en sohigi ashla des is do din da haljen en so adon stasigi asare neze din do ansos din da hedet lo hun stas do na ischles do bzi ischles do benachige trattin do nahast benachig shin todna nesteze salabatas anigi bitchen da hodolne hod na gado hod il sande noda in Kesbada Hausen is a labage in the Hotosne Ajem Nahaste Naki Sebi Tra Asa Fishing Hoto in Lorigiba Hewin Zendo Lake Ado the Net Benda Hostendo Beke Yandas Craigie Nina Babbitt do Eric Joe Hoto Benda Hosten Ado Hone Nanagin Nanishels Liagi, de Hojo, the ne, the initially it's in Slishin Dad Nishigi, the never care of a cow, at the Netingo, at the Yila, no, but the Jigo, Eshi Ajem, Ode and Hanata il Dato, Ode, Belagan and Nakrenat, Uzida, that any in Hada Joe Bago, Ashon, Kai Jegi, Yoba, Hewinson, the nation Slish, the never had alt Eto, hot of, but the initially, Yesi and Das Nishigi. Snahan neko sehot so in li not ani nes do tona nes deze sost din doba sost ba da dil sahat no beshes na hon eshin tenen khata has khegi na neste yos yerigi eshin order da bojiko River Electric Cooperative hat no in le ashlatin khahot so keya Gapike Thaye Ahe Hol Yahde Eshi Adena Nishte Yoslie Ado Athato Beta Nishto Benda Ajnishigi Tra Naznele Beda Jigo Nahashide Tohaj Ba Hashla Na Krei Betro Ado Maithe Yetleje Arenda Ajnish Eshoto Bahodan Send Ado the Neked had Enegi the Kushim Yesen Bakilahojon that Dil Clado Aroshila Hataso Gizon Besha Trata and Chinishlish Bada Salt Ado that it's out and Nilchinal Kirida Shona Chianda Be Ethinedo Bichianda Basic Azigi Bandas the Ligi the Ehoda Enigi Juno Shikan to Le Dosashi Tode Niltoda Beke Hoto Bahe Winton Let Lord Hoto the Nenkai Jagidon Anike the Nebeke of a cow yet Chinshlishi Dal Nishigi Joe Belgrana catch into UA but no that in niche stop that in niche Lord the Nenhan Nataha Kagi Bahe Winton a Hehan Kadini to Sashi Aja and Nishbeke and not all Satoshi Belgrana Donna Credona Oza that any Belinda Sosh Nishigido did up the ne Yeshilinda has negodi the nebat that deal Tagoya sim Yabes Tahojo but Jade see baby Trihad the hot eight or the nether that Chaga Shon Shaka or what Bahe Winton no the Eoto Bashel Hojo deep in hat Argo in Hohot in the large that's a tagi into a Yanat Nishigi Shanat Taho the Ashon Haitian and Arkea Belanta to Leto where basically cheat that little Igi Ashon he large Kea Nike Gedes Igi Nalso Skito Nasco Yotaho Ehot on late Lord in Hanata Il Taho Dona Hunt Argo the Nils in the lake Nene the Hot on Kisna Nishgi Yoba Hen Sentle Ado Hone Nanigi in Hosdoha Zoja large not Ani Lenigi Behes Ani la ye la sling no Kushis Kana ye la sling de Behes Ani Emily Be ye Hosdo Hahot Sodo ye Dadesh Nish Bakagi Shlejdo Beta Hozinigi ye Kail ye Enna Hotot Zil Benia Hadelia Aro Benina Be la sling Hadelia ye Wando de one Hosdo Ajda Kahigi Train Zillegre Zilra Chicken go Beke Hastin Beninache Behes Ani Hadeliado Yej Ehot Ocean Bahodan Sindolet Aroto Kayas Anigi Beka got Skinko Behane Al Idole Be Nada Dej Nishelto Aroto the Ne Dahi Kato the Nedo Be the Hozin Hiki in the Yenahata Sak Yeke Nada Hotla Ehot on the initiation Ehoje Elke in the Anishton Nake the Moyen Dashelo Ahoje Behes Ani Shidet Egi Hadashla Chudi at in the Never Washington the inishigi the has Agido Belhada Hotet Egi Bahoda Nosin Hajol Keda not o Ehot o did the Nechi Hatapat and Tragi Hatapat not Hart Hot oe it the Hasahigi Eahat o Hajo Be Besnahan net or Lech Nenigi to Ehot o Bahe Winzen the large Hosto Howard Zoja Benant An Lenigi Kadi Habs Hedi Lado Ye La Asli Aroshel na Kedamoya Dan Hot also Ashil Hadish Slag Ehot Kisnal Nestor Yal Kiko Ehot on Bedo Lech Winzon Eshoto Bahoda no Senderlet yes did the Mona outlet Hodo the Nether Bijit names Geo Hela Babetsu Hela Benella Hela Bama Hela Bayaz Ashon Habet no Trale Jinzon the Hodo Bijit names Gil Eshin Hoto yes in Jono the Lech Winzon Ehoto that Dejnish Aros the Hoja Sin Yelchin be has Dahot Noye the Never Cave of car Sate yes Hawanda that deal Clito Hawanda is about the whole Ahoda I see Hawane Smodik no the Nahan Netlem the She Hoja the Inishigi large eat the ne Achin Dahwidi Nako Yenaz Niship because underdo Aja Yisindaz Nishigi Kea Ashlatin Hahotzodo Lechi as now zid baby cash chinigi Yisindaz Nisho late the never cave a car said Yilchine be that day's Nishigi hot on so yen da se bigo yos castle are Sahazli to the Neshjed hit all and Jonodo le no Ehuido Alto Nantin Bold Trago to the Neshje Washington by all Tragida Adolto the Kagish Klij Zeis in the Nishigi Adolto Ahwabes as Anigi Abet Sish Klejigi the Neta House Ata Hawana Dalne do best Ida Dilje do at the Nishigi AI yes Noye Edi Ita House Dito Sidil Chinigi Dacha Ato Di yes Jonodo le no Beshas Hanego Disney no Tra Honela the Nebich Holia Adolto so it's Ada Etahis Nil Dil Chin Nenigi Arabeshas Nahanego Di Chinigi but Nenigi Dahnaz Nilgo Diho one at the Hides Kai asni do ba do bita hote donte no da beshil khanne go eshin to ba hoda no sen don san khe da logon chinesti gon da ni go da ban da ni le she hot bo hos to sata hon yanda hodi go just khoshoda jodi do khoshda hon yanda di haige da dil sagodi khato cha hot ishin da khon sasigi da hadi to le thoda sabke hodi li sa hot to hodo kan sa le khon zo hot shin ba hoda no sen do le ro hone nan gi so in le den be ze ich in et skin gon dal nishigi tlatsata chide tsispe na kyahi en nidigi nan nil lo ba hewintin ba hazligi din do asni do de mil sa ba hazlin in Washington do peso no tagi ilanta aslingi ben da ajnish ado ben da izni ge hot di tsispe na kyahi chidigi sita di jazo si to hajon dal nishe nidigi nata hazni ko ek tlatsata tsispe na kyahi skin so zeil in dal nishgi wa bal khada de che yat etule khun so che ya si la ta hoto woldo na huis ande da je ko hoto bada zol no to bichin da has ego chide ya da egin da je to le no ye tla chide be da hodet egi ya da na tsodi tho ye na nishko do yo da na al ko be khada de liya aro to da na tsodi ye kha na lo i ta has tsane ko o lol ko nte do yo ne kid ko ta aro to bi da holongi so le nelchi be elchi hanne egi ye go nas yosenigi bi das nel to aro to alti se ana nel ton tshago na nel elto be khada hatot o ze ine yen dal nesto ze da ne be das ja do le no shin hoto ba hoda no sen ye go ze in chide shlatsa ta sabe honan el yado anehim ti do sni do de miln sabe na da dejne hoto ashon chide ya da egi bel na da chito hoto khada hot in da khobchi da nit in khada hot in da neda in nada khwa sim kana na chkhol ne hoda ashon ye khan da logo hoto chide do ba da the ko shi kashin bel jano bel na da chito le aro to hone nangi ende hoje alchiniaj do ma do ke da lenigi bege dest ingi yiken da nishigi sa beson san ge chholya khoz do ha hot so do atsis ba khayya ba in hasht wolzen beson no ta to be nal nishibich da lihegi ba de des nel do nil noye beson ge chholya ashla de miln sa do ma dizdin de mil yaje hone la beson ge chholya aro be di आज alchiniaj do khwanda bege dest ingi आज da nishigi digi patte hota dolnil hoto bena nishida net loy ke na dat no aji da tej nish ba he winzen aro alto beso ban khada jos ba igi khosto do to kin be alkhata ta do nas no sele beso nan teche aji be khada hol dolnil to be etsis be bege dest ingi to aji yen dal nishigi be bohot huichi arolon sake khatsis ayo lili beben anish arolon anasko hayam pelna anish arosla hayam pelna has ado arosla to atsede hayam eshi hot o aja yese ta inishgi ba he winzin large aja shanal nishgi Thomas Cody insha endo aja anot en hodina goshin kitchen da il yegi khatta hoda dol nilo ashon hawada benada not edo is ngalchin ba nada hosyado le benada not klont ne bekanda nada chatole winzon hoto beta inishto del netole do hone nanigi nanishin tsagi bit einishigi tishin le Washington do sad han di tsagi nat ani Trump ne ze al Egypt hayat araban dat in nogo sad di peso bit det ya ze al Egypt haya yego ben del nishko te hat ne be ke bekam harso tlode an da loigi nat ze al Egypt haya yech nat itle haro beshel khne ko beso ye nat itlagi beso be al inigi allat zeil enye yelwol eshimin na roban dat in he ne be ke be zeil in dat yan se keso on sonye eshidiat in statin khaut so be ka huilne aro khoro be se zinigi a konne nal so sane de shnil be gadet aldo be kehodo ni oto nat an jono khilna nish chudi ze del indo alto ye andal roigi tad nossen noye akuba nasse joita nat ani bedilia no halit ola yaro yandal nishido khodo ya shonsar be hodel onge nakhol dol ton sonamansis kese chun Washington da eso da no tahigido na choda dol ni lodi da dol ni nenegi joilo sato ye hondo de hon ajeso nat ani nata hinno pin eso ajeso bada honsin ishilo aje nakha dolja arosli di large nat ani lenegi Donald Trump da shompje na o kan abone Johnson bansis case job kagish klis bit nenegi do khan yat ki gata de sada di tsado sad Donald sosen ki hundal o bandal nishgi da bdo ni di be kagish klis bit nenegi enal so san hatta shi nezet dinu wan khada del ya bit dat nos no hot obeln dal nish di be kagish klis bit nenegi do nat ozedat do na khil jini dat do na khaidat di do balgranat khon nande dat di be kagish klisgi jobeln dal nish di la shinat chihidash do bedet da noda sa da heden dele so banses kes a shonhe hot on khanse kesigi ayat lanso abeln don nishogot lanso da khain shnil hot kenashi shabeln dash nisle lashi aida nal sostal tsahe belcha olyaga siego shaitlo belcha olya jani bahachkos belcha dolni sende diete nebanant abedo ni ay yeselejin hahage na nishi yoswol yo tojbel khahat zojedo naho konshoda belkhada hat zoje aj do ni ayoshik edes yes tadi de nebadan de nahas zoge hot na nisin sagi de yos yela op do ni arbel kedoshne shohishnan ta kedol nehle hot oindi de nebeke baka de nede dolse ashon jono shansen kesto yego itlo hobiga to lesne ashon yego shachitel tlo ay tashi daltsa do hot itlo hoba ol yadande de shito shilsa do ja hot ele khere da kejdel neto khere yat epishni ho de neyat egido apelna nishin zoy hashin yego jotlo hot oshin san so hot es keze shin jono shachitel ton somanses kese shin ba hot no sindole apelna nishot ele do shiat en ke kese zido do lechen sinde tashi ayon ke kishin lido le hot en de khoje ashon ke kese zenegi shia aj nikina nisidelia gon jono do lechen sonda banses kese de stada dinna khegonat ani nan lilo khashi ben yedo wabel khita di sitobi gasad da hil net do le do be khoto nisada aro to khodo be shlan ne goin nilchi sadnat aigi elchi dal negi bichi in lago be shanegi sebi sosit ado sin trashigi Navajo nation in lago khannen channel itolel no ben chodot alchudi achi hudi na kotskin ko be hozin ahol nili be on nish noye nilchida alana nil bahanne egido alchinedo de neda bada ho ya ko be hozinigi to la be so chon igo bahanne egi al igo beta de nishigida arolonle anahot achi hudi sna go nilchi halne be yeje bahanne do le besh behnen hal idol khanenigi ejoto hada do lagoshi sad be hanne in lago ade nat la nichi anedo tlisa be kyako nichi an al ito le khoin zonshi eshe ben khida holni to shi khodo da do liln ge de shnida in zonshi de ya tashi aita yud nesh inda ita de slashi da no zonshi do da do tashi o hada hot in da hanne shi do nil da no zonshi aje da do thash sebi sost Navajo nation makada do lilo da do lil hado nenanigi de neda basata shellingi khojim anahot hallego tskil kontal nishigi pa hehuinzin di da mo bi yeje hodo nirgonal sos khade shla di shet an so se beats at da dot an so na din je anahot hallego ntal nishigi pa has adole din nilgo be has ani shishil ango khadi shla joy hodo bansis kese nahot hallego ntal nishigi tsida altse aden da khle anahot hallego ntal nishigi pa hehuinzinigi na nish betzili in dal nishigi hehe kedini la not in the nebeke of account dal nishigi slauda bel dal nish kontan tsesigi da in dal nish do ze in da in dal nish to hehe do le do to nenanigi sata hallego the nebeke of account in the ultra biga na dal nejim na da hwishigi just la alchini yaje nta hada ido na kitsata ultra iga ay lagi don hotta ko ultra gi di na he astrana he neznana he da iltragi si bankil da hojon ultra biga in lai do a khode da nasko na hol hot oshin kenan ken khalchin bebeln da hafnen so kedon genalda getsuda yego und hen aber sag khado kha in ledo ubikras do وناهدو نيل بكين تون نلقاهدت ستويدو ساني بيسين دا نصيرو لي تبدو نوشين بكيدا نوت انجي كهدو لي عرفتو أسانا دمون دا إنيشكو ناخوخي بسخو PRCA بد نو بسناهد دين سي جاكسون ناخوخي بسناهد هجي دا إنيشت صو تخطين يولكالتو دمو يايستاش چله أسا يولكال تسغن هود زنه بسخو إيشي ناخوخي إيشي دا ندا دلوهدو بسچ دا إلجيدو سين دا بسن دا الجيدو ها دا كوشي أوري ييغو يدا أني توشي نلچنال كريبي يتوشي ها دا الكينشي هولي نخاها كاتو ليش عرف ان دا إيسيل تو بسخز آدو ليش آدو يسي جينغو دا أجشتو ليش ديشي دنتا هي كتسب غنهو زندو ناخو خيج يندال نشي يلتاهول آتو ليش عرشي اتخطاهو نصودو ليش أساد مون دا إنيشكو ياد داهو نصودو ليش خوهوت إيري أسنا نزنا دميل يجرو بآهوني لام دنن خان دا هيسكاسي دنن بلتاهو جوني إيشي هوتو آهو ين الكنا دال دي نيسي آرم إيشي آي دا آجي نا والكين يهرو دنبنان Buu Nygren hojim da mo do din jugon ne hanen kiche nesh ingi yo ba hensin do an nehi hanen kiche nenli nini da hon nesigi do de nebe kaya ba be da innishigi ben kil nahol negi a hehe da shdo nin da hil tseo eshia nat an khanses kesti do khaishe ben yadi do jono da innisho do ba hojil net do lesson so da do hehe do les masana do che do nale do da do mayaj do bij da no senigi nehishi so hro ye gon kikina da hojutlo do ishiban dan kinnegi so de zen be nakha jona da hodot lenson khanses keso kiliana da hot eon kilkina da hojutlo nasko anot en nasko nana khato de nan kidi nidel tamo nas lingo shoro nen kichena de shlich hakone nan kidi nidole yarat
Yate, Skedos na, another so Gizidot and Kenatli Yate, Huntina Ado Bukija, say, ya, Mike Holona, Justice Jenne. Ne Tohats and what Yeda, which is a key. Ado Don Nance Kenny, but on in Slong as Chin was his chin, Tohan, that's another key on in the situation. What are Nansna? Ako Yadisha, Yakuji Division of Natural Resources in our national executive director. Artisan on this not so I just want to say good afternoon. Appreciate everybody for tuning in today from all over the country and so forth. And I would like to just take a little bit of your time and kind of share with you some of the upcoming events, so you can be prepared for them. It's been a busy spring here at the Division of Natural Resource, working with various different programs, and as well as our new elected officials, who I want to congratulate, and for becoming grazing officials. And we have new land board, we have farm boards, all took their oath, and it was a pleasure to go out and spend a day at all the orientations for the different agencies, for our elected officials, and provide some of the training as they take on their new task, to provide services to the people and the constituents within the prospective chapter. So that was a lot of fun. In the Division of Natural Resource, several different things have been happening. Some chapters have already received their food boxes, the potatoes, beans, and cornmeal, and so I was out in Navajo the other day. Got to visit and meet with different individuals and get these food boxes out. It's really great to be able to make those kind of contacts and spend time with people at the local level, and also be able to hear some of the concerns that may have or needs for assistance. And we're able to drop those down and get them to the right people in charge that can handle those different needs and so forth. Of course, spring also brings time where some of our farmers have already started preparing their fields. Some are planting already, and that's anticipation of a great harvest this coming fall. And then some are just starting their gardens for the first time. Some are redoing their gardens and being able to see their labor as they start sprouting and start producing, and then they get to harvest and to enjoy their nutritional meals, and some are traditional foods. And so that's always exciting to be able to see that happening. The Department of Agriculture is accepting applications for incentive programs to assist with our farmers and our ranchers, of course, our livestock producers. So make sure that you're able to get there, and then we can be able to get some assistance to you for you be able to keep producing, whether it's food or and livestock. We want to be able to do that. This year, again, we are doing our wool purchasing program. Last year, we had over 649 sheep producers bring your wool to Window Rock. So we've had our first purchase over in Western Agency in April. And then now we're looking at June 17th and 18th. We will be at the Shiprock Fairgrounds. Again, June 17th and 18th in Shiprock at the fairgrounds is where we'll be for 2 days purchasing wool from all of our producers. On July 9th and 11th, we'll be in Window Rock at the fairgrounds. It's July 9th and 11th in Window Rock at the fairgrounds. We will be there to purchase your wool. We'll have wool buyers. They'll grade them and go through that whole process as we did previously, be able to help get wool to the market for you, be a part of that, and provide some additional revenue to your families, to be able to help deter the cost, of course, for raising livestock, the cost to get hay, and all of that keeps everybody in business. Some of the other aspects of coming up from Division Natural Resources within the Department of Fish and Wildlife, for all you hunters out there, big game hunting applications are now available. You can go in and apply, or you can just go online and apply. You can apply online for the upcoming hunts. We have archery deer hunts, archery elk hunts. We have rifle deer hunts. We have elk hunts. We have mountain lion hunts. We have bighorn sheep hunts. So all these hunts are now have been approved for 2025 and 2026. And so for all of our hunters, you can apply by 5 p.m. on June 13th. So it's going to be exciting this coming fall. And then we have our youth hunt program. So if you are not aware of that program, the youth hunt program is for youth from the ages of 12 to 16. And you fill out an application. You can go to the Navajo Fish and Wildlife website to be able to apply, and which is at hunt@nndfw.org. Again, that email is hunt@nndfw.org. And you'll be able to fill out the application, pull down the applications, get them filled out, letter of recommendation to be able to do that. And this program is really a component of the educational opportunity for our youth to learn about hunting, to learn about the traditional hunting, to be able to learn how to handle firearms properly, how to be able to take care of the meat once they are successful and they harvest an animal. They're able to have those animals and the meat taken care of, and all that meat will come back to the families. They'll go through a hunter education course for 2.5 days. They go out on the range. They learn about survival, and all of our donators, our sponsors, then also will provide them with hiking boots and camouflage pants and jackets and shirts and gloves and backpacks and binoculars and tents and sleeping bags. So everything that they could possibly need to go hunting is also provided to them. And again, it's on a limited basis, so make sure they apply as soon as possible. And that deadline is also on June 13th at 5 p.m. for the youth hunt for this year. And it's for ages 12 to 16. And then the other program that we want to promote is from the Navajo Land Department is the home site leasing amendments that are for homes that are existing. Homes that are existing can get a lease. There's a faster process that has been approved by the Resource Development Committee, and it's limited time. That process will end December of 2026. So you want to be able to get to your local home site lease office, and they will help you be able to get a lease for existing residents. Also, make sure that you contact your chapters this coming Friday, next week, Friday, May 30th. The home site lease agents will be at Pueblo Pintado chapter, and they are there on site to help families that need to get their lease on trust land. Okay, it's got to be on trust lands, not allotments, and help them get a lease as quick as possible so they can either participate in ARPA funded projects, or they can work with the utility companies to get water or sewer or bathroom additions or utilities. So that's what that program is set for. And I just wanted to remind everyone, if there are chapters that are listening and you'd like to host something like that at your chapter, contact the Navajo Land Department so they can schedule it. and we can promote it and get as many chapters from the surrounding areas to also promote it. And so we can have a big full day of people getting their leases, something they've been holding off. In closing, I just want to promote a couple of events that are coming up. Exciting. Okay. Next Monday, starting at 3:00 at the Winter Rock Fairgrounds, we're going to have a youth team roping clinic. Okay. That will be on the 26th and the 27th. And we have professionals, we have world champions. They're all coming to spend the day with our youth. And this is up to 17. Okay. And they can now participate in this roping clinic. And our instructors that will be there are Jake Barnes. Everybody probably knows who Jake Barnes is. Clay O'Brien Cooper, Matt Sherwood, our own Eric Rogers, Ty Romo, our world champion Aaron Sinangini, Derek Begay, and Miles John and Dugan Kelly are also will be the assistants at the training, starting at 3:00 on Monday up to 5:00 on Tuesday. So you don't want to miss that event for our youth. Where else could you get that type of clinic at no cost to anybody? And they just come, participate, listen, learn, get to know them. And that's a great opportunity. And the sponsors on that is the Native Lands Insurance Company is sponsoring these events. The next event is for Navajo Nation Youth Breakaway Roping Clinics. And that starts on May 28th at 9:00 in the morning. And we have Danielle Lohman, Cassidy Dennison, and Candy Williams are the top world-renowned breakaway ropers will be putting on that clinic. So all of our athletes are coming back to Navajo Nation to put on these clinics for our youth and help them get started in that career. And we're very thankful to them, and all of our sponsors participate. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I have for you today. So I'll see when it's on. So thank you all, and have a great day.
Hi, everybody. Candace Yazi here. Candace Yazi and Chia. Taoritini Nishle. Nanastasia Tachini Abashishi. Kidlichi Dashanele Nashashe Dashache. I'm from Fort Defiance, Arizona, born and raised, and went to Windrock High School a long time ago. It's really nice to finally be home working in Windrock. My dad used to work for the Navajo Nation, so now I can finally speak his language. It's an honor to be serving in this position, appointed by President Nygren. So I prepared something in writing. I'm going to just go ahead and read it because there's a lot of information that I want to share. Now that I'm working for the Navajo Nation, I'm really understanding how the inner workings are. So thank you to the Office of the President and Vice President for creating this platform to keep our people informed. It's important that we share not just updates, but purpose, transparency, and vision. So first, the Division of Community Development, which I'm responsible for, has many of the essential services and projects that directly impact our communities, from chapter support, housing, capital projects, and infrastructure planning to assisting with governance. DCD stands as a critical link between local needs and nationwide development. So within DCD, there are 6 departments. The Administrative Services Center, that's where we have the chapter staff are part of the Administrative Services Center, headed by Mr. Jerron Charlie. Then we have the Community Land Use Planning. It's not really a department, but it's one person who helps the chapters with their master planning document. and she works directly under the administration, so I'm her supervisor. Then we have the solid waste management department. We have one person who heads that off, with actually two. They're working strictly on solid waste management. Then we have the Navajo Nation Addressing Authority, and there's 3 people with the rural addressing. That's where you'd go for your physical address locations and so forth. Then you have the Community Housing and Infrastructure Department. There are more employees there who, as we know, are working on BIA HIP, Housing Improvement Program, and the Community Housing Infrastructure Department. And that's headed by Mr. Patrick Delguy. The last department is the Capital Projects Management Department. And this is the larger department that manages a lot of the construction projects within our 110 chapters. We work closely with all 110 chapters and our delegates, our oversight committees, and our federal and state partners. And that's because there are at least 8 funding sources that is used within the Division of Community Development. Our role is to serve the people and make sure projects move forward with intention and impact. One of our most urgent efforts is advancing ARPA-funded housing through Community Housing Infrastructure Department, or CHID. We know that housing is a basic human right, and far too many Navajo families are still without adequate shelter. Through CHID and HIP, DCD has been tasked with deploying 360 modular and manufactured homes, as well as 76 manufactured and modular homes. Just to give more insight as we continue to update and share the progress of delivery of these homes, I want to just describe a little bit more about how CHID ARPA-funded homes is talked about. So the CHID homes often use the nomenclature work orders. The way contracts have been issued are via work orders off of an IDIQ or master contract. Under CHID, work order number 1 has 50 modular homes, and that's through our contractor, and they're called Homes Direct. Work order 2 was not used. Work order 3, also through Homes Direct, was contracted to provide 150 homes. Work order 4 is contracted through IDSA for 160 homes. And then we do have some other work orders, 5, 6, 7, and 8, that I can describe at a later time. Those have to be issued and signed and returned. Anyway, also, Division of Community Development also works with Section 3 and Section 11. So part of the DCD staff are working on those different sections. And let me see if I can read to you Section 3 and 11. I'm just looking at my updates here. The bathroom additions are part of Section 11, and I believe we've completed 133 out of 328 as of February. So there's more that has happened before. So what we are doing is we are working daily with our chapters, the utility agencies. We have multiple utility agencies depending upon where the location of the bathroom addition and or even home is located. I think we have 4 or 5 utility providers, not only in TUA, but also the electrical providers in Farmington, New Mexico, that is, Farmington, New Mexico. I think they were called San Juan Electric, Farmington Electric. Then we have Jemez Electric and Continental Divide. Those are all the utility agencies that DCD has to work with. We work with our contractors and our internal project teams to deliver homes that are safe, functional, and close to infrastructure. Just this past month, deliveries and site prep is almost completed, and they began in Lester Yazie's region. So we're trying to work counterclockwise across the nation for the CHID homes. This is real time, boots on the ground, and it's not without challenges, but our team remains committed. So please keep an open mind about the coordination, as our contractors began this coordination in January of this year when I arrived, and we continue to coordinate daily. Another core function of DCD is providing technical assistance to chapters. We understand that each chapter faces unique challenges, and for us to manage complex projects while rebuilding our capacity, identifying staffing shortages and leadership changes, we're working on managing that. To support this, we do offer guidance. As we know, in January, we had some new chapter officials. We've had multiple trainings beginning in January and continue through June with multiple sessions. There is a makeup session for those chapter officials listening, scheduled for June 16th, 17th, and 18th at San Juan College. Contact Mr. Duran Charlie for more precise details on the training. Development for infrastructure requires planning. It also requires execution. For those who are not familiar with our funding sources, we do have CIHSN, we do have the UUFB, PTL. We also have New Mexico Capital Outlay, also the TIF, the Tribal Infrastructure Fund. So those types of fundings require, like I said, planning and execution. A lot of the capital outlay projects are water lines, power lines, chapter house improvement, road access and drainage, and infrastructure projects. And they require coordination between land use, environmental clearances, permitting, procurement, and of course, DCD's construction oversights. And believe it or not, there's tons of steps involved with each particular funding source, including internal reform that we are currently working on to help streamline the process. In January, when I stepped into this role, I found that many of our processes were slightly fragmented. Since then, though, we've initiated quite a few meetings and internal audits, and we're working on updating our workflows, implementing staff reporting expectations, and holding ourselves accountable to timelines and really quality. So we are asking our partners to meet those same expectations. Looking ahead, the future of DCD must be built on partnership and innovation. And we are working with the Office of the President and Vice President to align our priorities, speaking with delegates, multiple meetings with delegates, and to address legislative needs and funding gaps. And of course, DOJ, OOC, OMB to ensure that we are in full compliance. We are exploring digital tools and modern day systems to better track our projects. And although we know that our challenges remain and our housing needs are overwhelming, infrastructure is aging, and our nation's size and jurisdiction complexity adds layers of difficulty. But with our focus and consistency, I know that we can deliver. I appreciate, in closing, I appreciate to every community member watching. Thank you for your trust, and thank you for your resilience, and thank you for holding us accountable. We don't take this responsibility lightly. DCD will continue showing up on the ground in the chapters and here on your screen with facts, follow through, and firm direction. We look forward to continuing this work. Thank you.
Yate, Shaitan Patero and Shit, Navajo Division of Transportation, J. Bislandilnish, Don Anthony, touching Snow to Bajaji, but Shin, but Ania, the situation, the Shinal, Today, we'd like to give you a really quick update on some of the things that we've been working on the past few months. It's been a while since we've done an update. We've been kind of really busy trying to get things out. I think the biggest news that we have is we've actually issued 3 contracts out this year for road construction projects. The first one is Navajo, which is $21.5 million. 2 Great Hills, Totalina, $14.6 million. That contract was just signed last week. We are starting another contract for Saline in 12. That's going to be about $30 million. So altogether, we have issued out $66.1 million in contract. Our goal by the end of 2025 is to issue probably close to $150 million, if not more, in road construction projects. One of the things that we've been very successful at in the past year is to use a little bit more of our internal staff. One of our department managers, Anjanette Owens, has been recruiting staff for her compliance section. We just added on 3 more staff in the last month, and so she's expanding her department so that some of the work can be done in-house. It really helps because we have people that are close to the projects instead of paying contractors to come all the way out here. That section has also been instrumental in securing clearances through the Navajo Nation process. Navajo DOT doesn't do these projects on its own. We have to work with regulatory agencies for cultural, environmental, archaeology, all these different compliance issues, the NEPA process that they have to work on to get approval. So really appreciate their hard work, and we look forward to getting more projects out this year before the end of 2025. The next one we'd like to highlight is we hired a consultant, our consulting, to help us relook at our personnel within Navajo Division of Transportation. They are creating job descriptions for all of the positions that we have. Most people don't realize that there's a difference between a job classification and a job description. A job classification just sets the specifications for this is the minimum qualifications or preferred qualifications for a position. A job description indicates this is what you'll be doing day in, day out for the position that you're getting hired for. It really is a really good tool to have job descriptions. I've worked for the tribe for a number of years, and none of the places that I've worked has ever had job descriptions. So we really want to institute this. And what it is also is a tool that will allow us to conduct really better employee performance appraisals. So we're looking forward to the first batch that are coming out. We also want to let people know that we are advertising some positions, so take some time and if you want to come join our team. We have positions, field positions, we have office positions, we have management positions, we have transit positions that we are actively trying to recruit. Transit really has a big need for drivers, so if anybody you know of that can drive a transit bus, we really would appreciate your help in having them come apply with us. You can find all the information for vacant positions with the Navajo Nation at www.dpm.navajo-nsn.gov. So we really encourage everyone to come apply for these jobs with us. We want to employ our Navajo people to help us address the transportation issues on the Navajo Nation. The next one that we're working on is we're doing as much as we can to work with our partners, both at the county, the state, the BIA, and the federal level. As you all know, there's been a transition in the federal government, so we are trying to get in a meeting with the new federal highway people. The state people have been really supportive in working with us. Arizona DOT is probably the most active out of the 3. New Mexico DOT interacts with us. Utah, because it's such a small area, they include us on their information. They're doing a really big project out there in southern Utah. It's about $100 million project. Arizona is working with us on what we call a partnering exercise. Our next meeting will be in July, and we'll get information out. So if you want to be involved in that, express your issues with Arizona state routes. We'll be moving those meetings around. Historically, we just held them here in Winter Rock, but we want to have the next meeting in Tuba City. Then afterwards, we want to have it in Kayenta. Then the final meeting for this year we will have in Chinle. So we'll be moving it around so that state DOT people can hear directly from our communities, so that they can let them be aware of some of the needs and issues and concerns that you have. We also are working with internally, we're working to improve our overall management. We've hired a number of people within management to really boost our finance and personnel capabilities. I think any organization that has a number of staff that we do needs that kind of strong support. So when I started here, much of this building was left vacant. We are now looking for additional space because we've hired so many people. But it takes a lot of administrative support to run basically $100 million operation. When you combine all the different funding sources that we have federal dollars, we have state dollars, we have Navajo Nation general funds, we have fuel excise tax money, and so it takes a lot to manage all of these. In particular is our ability to maintain internal control, separation of duties. I'm happy to report that we probably are one of the few departments that has over 20 staff that are FMIS and 6B certified. 6B certification, for those that don't know, it's the tribe's procurement process. There are basically 4 roles in there. You have a requisitioner, an approver, a receiver, and then once the product is delivered, you have a 3-way match to process the payment. So we actually have our own crew in-house that's able to do that. And what we separate the process is, the department that is requisitioning it is not going to be the department that approves it. It'll be a different department. It'll be a different department that receives it, and then yet another different department that will do the 3-way match to process payment. We've had some audit findings in the past, and we're working on those. A lot of it is the procurement process, and we are working with the Controller McCabe, to update the personnel, the finance policies and regulations, so that we can comply with the issues that were identified in the audit finding. Thank you for your time. We want to say, if you want to get a hold of me, you can email me at tplatero@navahodot.org. That's the quickest way to get a hold of me. So we want to say thank you. Appreciate it.
A look arena where you've been so